Welcome to Yoga with Megan. This somatics practice will do one of my very favorite practices. I have what I call my body prayer practices for the lower body, which I've recorded on several different practices. But what I've never done is body prayer for upper body, I realize. So this is a really simple practice, and the reason I like it is we do it all seated. But know that even though I'm seated on the floor, this may not be where you want to be. So in fact, I have a chair here to show you if we're going to sit in a chair, how to sit correctly, because we still want to have our tall spine and be on our sit bones. So if we're choosing to get that chair, go ahead and grab your chair, and you can also pause because you're going to want some balls, dryer balls, tennis balls, any of that kind of stuff, because we're going to need some wall space today. We're going to do some myofascial release. So when we come into the chair, we're probably used to, watching Netflix, a lot of Netflix lately, sitting like this, right? This is slumpasana. This does not work for body prayer. So what we want to do is come forward. Imagine that you're in a backless chair. You can scoot back just enough to feel the chair on the edge of the thighs. Place your heels right underneath the knees. And so you have a 90-degree angle from the knees to the hips. And come up tall and maybe roll around a little bit. See if you can feel your right and left sits bones, your tailbone. And position yourself so you're on that tripod of support between the tailbone and the two sit bones. So we're here and we're holding ourselves up tall, not slumping into the shoulders, because we're going to be working this whole area. So it doesn't help us to be closing off our chest at all and rounding, right? So that's my example of if you're at home sitting in your chair, finding your tall spine, and please do that. Sit in a chair. There's no sense in you sitting on the floor if you're fighting the lower half of your body while we're trying to bring pleasantries to the upper half of our body, right? So awareness in the upper half of the body for this practice. And just take a moment, flip your palms up, and find your breath. If you'd like, you can close your eyes. So when we work with hands, arms, and shoulders, think of your hands and arms as an extension of your heart. Take a breath into the center of your heart. And as you breathe out, imagine sending that breath from the heart through your shoulders, down your arms, and into the palms of the hands, maybe even out the fingers. And if you're just seeing yourself from the front side, see yourself from the back side. Take a breath into the center of the heart, the space between the shoulder blades. Allow that breath to go down through the shoulders and the arms and into the palms of the hands. And you can set your intention for your practice, remembering that this is considered working with the heart when we work with the hands and the arms, the lungs, breathing into your lungs. And we'll start by doing our left arm first today. So your right arm gets to relax. You're going to take your left arm forward. Reach it forward, but then plug the arm bone in so the upper arm bone will come towards the shoulder blade. And this is a comfortable position for me. The top of the shoulder still relaxed. If you have anything going on in that shoulder and it's uncomfortable, you can drop your elbow to the side here instead. This may be more comfortable, but I'm going to show it with an extended arm. Feel your hand. In any of these practices, if you can, you want to do it with your eyes closed. As you exhale, bring your thumb to the center and make a soft fist and squeeze your fingers around the thumb. As you inhale, spread the fingers apart and as far out as you can. And exhale and close. So super simple practice for the hands. But notice everything you feel through all the muscles in your arms. Maybe closing your eyes, feeling the movement of the hand. So our fingers allow us to reach out for whatever it is that we want. So imagine letting go of what you don't want, grabbing a hold of what you do want. Do one more just through the fingers. Keep the top of the shoulder relaxed, head and neck. So a lot of times we need to take the chin back a little bit. We'll find that we have that head forward syndrome, so take it back. Now we're going to come into the wrist, so relax the fingers. As you inhale, lift the palm up towards me so I could see your palm. As you exhale, go downward. So we're going through flexion and extension of the wrist. And again, just notice the muscles, particularly in your forearm. Remembering that joints do just that. They join two parts of the body. So your wrist is joining your hand to your arm. And our wrists give us a little bit of play and movement in what we want to grab onto with those fingers. So And then we're going to make that soft fist and make circles. You can go either direction, but pick a direction. And this one I'm going to be a little bit more particular with, because what I see is we think we're moving our wrist, but the whole arm is rotating. So what you can do is take your right hand in and support the arm, even if you're down here. Hold your arm still and make sure that the movement is truly coming from the wrist. If your forearm's flipping up, you're not moving just the wrist. Just that soft fist and moving the wrist. And then switch and go the opposite direction, noticing the muscles through the arm. And then relax the wrist, relax the hand. We're going to extend out. Maybe you need to do that extend and plug back in again. Now flip the left palm up towards the sky. Think of your elbow. We're going into the elbow joint, so we're working our way up the joints, right? We did fingers, wrist. Now as you exhale, bend into your elbow and try to touch your fingers somewhere towards the back of the upper back, the shoulder blade area. And then inhale and reach. The other thing is, if you're down here, it's going to be a little bit easier. So this one, you might want to go ahead and extend that arm. Bring the elbow up to the height of the shoulder. And think of moving from your elbow. So if you can keep your wrist and your hand really floppy and soft and initiate the movement from your elbow. You'll know if you're trying to use your hand because you'll feel your hand tighten and the muscles in the wrist tighten. So keep that soft. Just gently moving in and out of the elbow. You might start to feel the muscles in the upper arm, triceps and biceps. So our elbows represent this idea of bringing towards us what we need and pushing away what we don't need, or letting it go. We'll do one more with the elbow, and then let that hand come down, let the arm come down. So you may have noticed you've built maybe just a slight bit of tension in the shoulder. We're working our way up, so we're going to get into that shoulder now. So starting with the left shoulder again, you're going to inhale and lift the left shoulder up towards the sky. Think of somebody taking their hand underneath your armpit and lifting your armpit area. But I'm not using my arm. I'm keeping my arm relaxed. I'm lifting just the shoulder. And then I'm going to exhale and slowly release it all the way down to its point of zero gravity where it just wants to fall. Next one is inhale. I'm going to go back. I'm going to press the shoulder blade, draw the shoulder blade towards the spine. Feel stretching through the front of the collarbone area, drawing the shoulder towards the back body. Exhale, release. Next one, I inhale and go downward. Imagine someone gently pressing on the top of your shoulder or drawing your armpit down. You'll feel your side body muscles tighten. And then release. And then inhaling and coming forward. So there's 4 points. I like to think of it as a 12, a 3, a 6, and this is the 9. So I'm drawing my shoulder towards the center of my heart. My shoulder blade slides away from the spine. And then I'm going to release. So we want to find those 4 points first. We'll do it 2 more times. Keep the head and neck relaxed. Maybe take your chin back. Watch that we're not starting to come into that slumpasana, so tall through the spine. Inhale, shoulder up. Tighten it, lift it. Exhale, slow release all the way. Inhale back. Exhale, release. Inhale down. Exhale, release. And forward, feel the muscles tighten around the collarbone. Sometimes one of these doesn't quite happen, so close your eyes and visualize it. We're going to go around again. Inhale, lift. Feel the muscles in the side of the neck and the top of the shoulder tighten. Exhale, release. Inhale back. Draw the shoulder blade towards the spine. Feel the stretch through the head of the arm bone. Release. Inhale down. Feel your armpit area and the upper body tighten. Top of the shoulder stretches. Release. And forward. Tightness through the front of the collarbone area, pectoral area, space in the upper back. Release. So now we have that 12, 3, 6, and 9. So you're going to do all 4 of those spots, 12, 3, 6, and 9, and try to smooth it out. And again, it's good to check that you're not moving your shoulder from your arm. I want you to move your shoulder from the shoulder muscles up here. Arms completely relaxed. And if it's not, sometimes just placing a hand, your right hand on the arm will help, or let that arm relax completely. Roll the shoulder around. We're picking one direction first. Keep the head and neck in a comfortable position. I'm getting a little cracking. Anybody else out there? And then switch and go the opposite direction if you'd like. So you can go up and forward and down and back. So we say that the shoulders are where we can either have strong shoulders that support us, or our shoulders are where we can carry the weight of the world, right? So letting those shoulders feel mobile and free. This left shoulder. One more circle, working it out. Keep your head at center, and then relax. Just flip your palms up for a moment. Take another breath into the center of the heart, and as you breathe out, breathe through the shoulders and down the arms into the palms and the fingers. And just notice if you can feel a difference between the left arm and the right arm. Any difference between left and right. Just maybe an awareness, a temperature difference, length. And then before we do the right arm, double check your posture again, that we're not slumping, so we need to use the spinal muscles. Sit up tall, find the tripod between the two sit bones and the tailbone. Crown of the head reaching up, soft palate back a little bit, or take the base of your skull back. Take your low back and your shoulder blades back so you feel tall and spacious through your chest. Keeping all that, relax the tops of the shoulders, take your right arm out, and we'll reach, but then plug the arm bone back in. If this feels uncomfortable because you've got stuff going on in your shoulder, then option to drop the elbow to your side. I'll show it with an extended arm. We start with the hand. As you exhale, bring the thumb to the center and make a soft fist, wrapping the fingers around the thumb. Fingers, inhale, reach, and exhale, squeeze. So think of this idea of what are we holding on to? What are we reaching for? And what do we want to let go of? Opening and closing. And one more. Feeling all the muscles it takes to move that hand. Relaxing. All right, so let the fingers just soften, relax. So we'll start to notice too, do we hold tension? Are we trying to hold the shoulder up here? Can you relax the shoulder down? Now we're going into the wrist. So as you inhale, lift the palm of the hand up so we can see the palm. As you exhale, draw the palm of the hand towards the bottom of the wrist. So we're going into extension on the inhale and flexing the wrist on the exhale. And just feeling the muscles that connect the hand to the arm. The simplicity of it. And I call it my body prayer because as I do it, I say thank you. You know, especially this may be really easy for you. So be grateful that there's not anything going on in your wrist or your hand. That gratitude for the body parts that are working. Making the soft fist. We're going to make the circles with the wrist. But often we accidentally move the whole arm to move the wrist. So if that's happening, take your left arm, support the right arm. Even if you're down here, you can do this. And rotate your wrist. So it may feel like you're limiting the amount of mobility in the wrist, but it's a true wrist action. You'll feel all these muscles in your forearm picking one direction first. Sometimes when you hold the arm, that'll help you to feel those muscles moving. On your full range of motion in the wrist. You can switch directions, and that's what the wrist does. It gives us a little play, a little opportunity to switch directions and what we're reaching for in life. Going the opposite way, and letting the wrist relax. We'll be coming into the elbow, so if you're down here, I'd encourage you, at least for this one, to bring your arm up so that the shoulder, the elbow, and the hand are at the same height. Flip your palm up towards the sky. Relax the hand and wrist. Feel your elbow. As you exhale, bend into the elbow, bringing the fingers somewhere towards the upper back, maybe by the shoulder blade. Inhale and extend. And exhale. Flex. Just going into extension and flexion of the elbow. And you can feel the joint itself. But notice the muscles in the lower arm, and particularly in the upper arm in this one. Get a little bicep and tricep going here. Keeping the top of the shoulder relaxed. I always have to check my head will start to fall forward, so I need to take the base of the skull back again. Keep the neck in alignment, ears over the shoulders. And the hand and wrist are relaxed. Movements coming from my elbow, initiating from the elbow. One more. And then we'll relax that down. There might be a little sense of fatigue. That's all normal. You're waking up the muscles. So now we'll go into that shoulder, the right shoulder. Finding those 4 points like a clock. The 12 o'clock comes first, so as you inhale, reach it up. Maybe take this first one a little bit longer. So you want to feel a tightening through the top of the shoulder and a lengthening underneath the armpit. And I'm not using my arm to lift it up. I'm keeping my arm relaxed and feeling the muscles around the shoulder. And then exhale, complete release. Next one is back. So imagine drawing the inner edge of your shoulder blade towards your spine. You'll feel a stretch through the front of the chest and the front of the arm. Exhale, relax. We'll inhale and go down. So draw your armpit down towards your waist. Feel the stretch through the top of the shoulder and the side of the neck even. Let go. And inhale and come forward as if you're going to touch the head of the arm bone to your heart. Feel the shoulder blade slide away from the spine. And let go. We'll go around 2 more times with the right shoulder. Inhaling, lifting up. Exhale, relax down. Inhaling back. Exhale, relaxing. Inhale down. Release. And inhale, come forward. Release. And I know all the tricks because I've seen people try to do it with their arm. I've also seen we're lifting the shoulder up and we're lifting the whole body up. Or I've seen the shoulder come back and we're rotating. It's not a rotation of the torso. Keeping your torso, your head, neck still, your spine still. So we're drawing back and releasing. Draw your armpit down. Release. So explore finding those 4 points of movement in your shoulder and forward and release. So now we've got those 4 points. We'll go around in circles. So you go up to the 12, back to the 3, down to the 6, and forward to the 9. And keep those circles rolling. So this is what I call my sticky shoulder. I lovingly call my sticky shoulder, right? But it is sticky, so I have to pay a little bit more attention to find the full range of motion. And not because the muscles aren't there and it doesn't have the range of motion, it's because the muscles get stuck, what we call sensory motor amnesia. They're there, we just have to wake them up. We have to pay attention so that they wake up. Going nice and slow, and sometimes that's what it takes, is when they're stuck, the sticky points, go slower, be more mindful. Not getting frustrated, but saying thank you, having gratitude, and you can switch the direction, go up and forward and down and back. So notice if there's any jumpy movements, that's usually a sign of that sensory motor amnesia, or trying to hurry through something because it's difficult. Take your time. The slower the movements, the more your brain is really soaking it up, right? And then relax that right shoulder. Take a moment, flip your palms up. Again, just take a few breaths from the center of the chest, upper back. Breathing in to the heart center, breathing out to the palms. All right. We're going to open this up a little bit more into the upper back. So you're going to take your hands. At this point, you know, by the way, if you're still sitting on the floor and you've been doing this the whole time, grab a chair, right? We know we can sit here or we can't. It doesn't matter because we're working on upper body. Now the hands are coming to the shoulders, and I'm going to lift the elbows up to the height of the shoulders. As you exhale, you're going to bring your elbows forward. And this one we can start to add the chin and the neck. So tuck your chin slightly towards your chest, drawing elbows towards one another. And inhale, draw the elbows back. You can lift your chin just a little if you'd like. Feel the front of the throat stretch, but drop your jaw open. And exhale. So think of moving the arms in conjunction with the upper back and the chest. Opening on inhale, and closing on exhale. Or think opening the chest on inhale and opening the upper back on exhale. Moving with your breath, taking that inhalation into expansion and exhalation and closing. Nice. And then relax the arms down. Take a moment to roll them around. So this next one we do quite often in class lying down, but I'm going to have you do it seated today. It gives it there's a little bit more oomph to it when we do it seated. You're going to feel a little more muscular action going on, but we sometimes call it cactus arms. Take your arms out to the sides, to the height of the shoulders. Plug the arms in to the shoulders. So think of taking the upper arm bones into your shoulder blades and into the collarbones. Then bend your elbows and put your fingers up towards the sky. So you've got this nice cactus or goalpost. Anybody want to kick through it? Go ahead. There's my goalpost arms. And then as you breathe out, just let both hands fall forward, but I'm going to keep the wrists in line with the elbows. So the hands don't get to go out to the sides. They also don't get to come in here. I'm going to keep this 90-degree angle and drop. So that's your internal rotation of your arm bones. Feel that. Just drop forward. Come back up on inhale. Now here's where I'm really tight. As you exhale, you're going to drop your hands back, externally rotating your arm bones. Come back up. So we're going to exhale, fall one direction or the other, fall forward on exhale. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, fall back. Watch again, check that alignment with head and neck and shoulders because my head's trying to fall forward. And you're just going in and out. And then we're going to change it a little bit because we're going to alternate. So you can exhale, let one hand fall forward as the other one falls back. Inhale, meet back at center. Exhale, one falls forward, one falls back. And then you're going to add your head, turning your head towards that bottom arm or the one that's falling forward. Inhale to the center. Exhale. Inhale, center. Exhale, turning the head. Just a slight rotation, not forcing it. If you're looking at the bottom arm and you want to switch it around, this is more of a brain thing, then try looking at the top arm. Back to center. And again. All right. Relax the arms down. Feel free to roll around in your spine, especially if you're seated, or roll. You can take some like cat-cow movements for the spine. You can resituate your legs if you've been in the same position. Still seated for just a few more here. So now we'll clasp the fingers together into a basket. Take the spine up tall, so lift out of the low back and the crown of the head comes back, or up and the back of the head goes back. Take your hands over the top of the head and start to make some circles over the top of the head. So feel the whole shoulder girdle and the front chest area opening up. Waking up the arms, and I'm just lightly pulling on my fingers, a little bit of tractioning of the fingers. Making circles over the top of the head. And you go really soft, or you can really pull and draw your elbows all the way out. The more you take the hands to the back of the head versus being in front of you, the more you're going to feel. But the other side is, sometimes we think we're taking our hands back, but what's actually happening is the head is here. So keep that head high. Crown of the head reaching, ears over the shoulders and making the circles. Yeah. And then relax that one. Next one, the partner to that. So we're just moving this upper body area. And I love these practices because they're really good for all your muscles or respiration. Palms together, elbows together, if they'll want to come together. Press the palms as you inhale, start to lift the arms up. Let the elbows float apart. You can come fingertips together and then draw your elbows down to the sides. Make big full circles. Inhale, let the hands come back together, the forearms lifting up. And exhaling back. This one you can add your chin or your head to it, so you can drop your head down on inhale. Lift it back up. And exhale back down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. All right, we're going to end our seated seated position here with some neck stuff. So I always save the neck for last because sometimes working the shoulders, you'll see it could have built a little tension up in the neck. So I always like to do neck after shoulders and arms. So coming to the center, feel your chin lift slightly. As you exhale, bring the chin down towards the chest. And inhale, lift back up to where it feels like your head is at its center. And exhale, chin towards the chest. And just do that a few times like you're nodding yes. And then we'll begin to add on to that. So as you exhale, chin towards the center, leave it down there, and then inhale, roll your chin towards your left shoulder. Feel that nice stretch to the right side of the neck. Exhale, drop the chin back to center. Inhale, roll like you're rolling your right ear over your right shoulder. You can feel it through that left jaw line. Exhale, drop back to center. Inhale, rolling to one side. I was doing these this morning. Felt really good. And a lot of people know, where do you carry your tension? Is it in your shoulders or your neck? These are very simple practices, and you don't have to do all of them at once. All right, so next time you roll your right ear over your right shoulder, we're going to leave it there. I'll get my hair out of my face. Leave the right ear over the right shoulder, and then if you want, you can drop your left arm down. Even if you're in the chair, you could drop it down a little bit. And then find that sweet spot. Bring your chin slightly forward and back like you're still nodding yes. So as you bring your chin forward, you're going to feel it more in the back line of the neck. As you lift your chin up, you're going to feel it more in the front. We're going to go deep into the front in a moment. But you can also gently nod no. Open and close your jaw. There's no reason to wrap your right arm around or keep both shoulders relaxed, and just explore within this space of gravity, taking your right ear down towards the shoulder. These little micro movements. Now we're going to take the left hand, place the left hand right on the chest. Be careful of my microphone. Place the left hand on the chest, and imagine drawing the chest tissue down towards your left knee. So my ear's over my right shoulder, and then lift up. You're still staying over the right shoulder, but lift the chin up away from the chest. You should start to feel a stretch right through the front of the left throat. So it's our SCM muscle, and you're lifting up to where you can feel that, but you're dragging your chest tissue down towards your left knee, and lifting the crown of the head up and over to the right. And then you can open and close your jaw. I love this one for the jaw. Helps to release any TMJ in the jaw. Open and closing the jaw, or you can lightly do that little yes or no. So you can get right into that area in the front of the neck. And I like to also take my fingers, my right fingers, because this arm's just hanging. You can massage that muscle right in the front of the neck. Just get in there with your fingers. Just the right amount of pressure. Oh, you're losing me. Sorry. See, this is why when I teach with a class, I don't do all these, because I have to stay focused for you out there. But it feels really good just to rub that area. And then you can relax your right hand back down. Let your head slowly roll back to the front. Relax your left hand and lift your head back up. Please tell me in the comments, at this point in our practice, what do the two sides of your neck feel like? Can you feel any difference? Because I'm pretty sure my head is like this right now talking to you. That's what it feels like, but I know I'm at center. So we'll do the second side. Drop your chin down towards your chest. I'm going to inhale, roll the left ear to the left shoulder. You can drop your right hand down to the floor, and I'm not pushing, or drop it off the edge of your chair. Just letting it fall, because you want the top of the shoulder to be heavy. You want to open up that space in the right side of the neck. Left ear heavy to the left shoulder. And then just gently go back and forth. So as the chin comes towards the chest, you're going to feel it more in the back of the neck. And for a lot of people, that's a really good spot. Those upper trapezius muscles in the back of the neck. You can also lift up a little bit, come more through the side of the neck. Open and close your jaw. Feel your shoulder blades just sliding down your back. And then we'll work this a little bit more. Keep that right arm heavy into the front of the throat and neck. So you can take your right hand to your chest this time. Place the right hand on the chest and drag the chest tissue down towards the floor and towards your right knee. So cross diagonally and down. A little bit of pull there. And then begin to keep the left ear over the left shoulder, but begin to lift the chin up towards the sky. So you should feel the skin in the right side of the neck, the front of the right side of the neck begin to stretch. Breathe into that space. Everybody's going to feel it in a little bit different place. You can be still. You could do the simplest things of like opening and closing your jaw, breathing into that right jaw line. You can nod no or yes. Let your eyes roll deep back into your skull. See how much you can just let the weight of the shoulders fall towards the hips. And then breathing into that front of the right neck, right side of the neck. Left hand, if you want, can come in and massage that SCM muscle. So you feel it'll come all the way up in the front of the ear and down through the front of the neck. A little self-massage on the neck. All right, wherever you are, the left hand drop. Slowly roll your head back down. Drop your right hand to lift your head up. Oh my goodness. All right, now how do the two sides of your neck feel? I still feel a little out of balance. All right, so we're going to go to standing. So I know you've been sitting for a while. We're going to go to standing. We are going to need a wall, and you're going to need your ball, of whatever ball you got a hold of. So I have here a dryer ball. It can be any size. My pinky bouncy, or a tennis ball, and dig through closets to get whatever you need. Coming up to standing, take your time, take a moment. Oh. So we're going to continue into the arms. And the first one will be a stretch for all of the tissues, including the myofascial. Actually, we don't need the balls yet, so I'll set those down. All of the myofascial tissues through the side body. So we're going to start with the right arm. So you're going to take your right hand to the wall, walk away from the wall, so the hand's starting about at the height of the shoulder. And the key is to keep a straight arm. So you want to keep the arm straight as much as you can and begin to walk your right hip in towards the wall. So if the arm starts bending, that's as far as you go. So you might have, you know, a full foot from your hip to the wall, or you might be able to walk all the way into the wall. See how far you can go comfortably. I'm trying to keep my wrist aligned with the shoulder and my ear right next to the arm, tall spine, and I'm going to feel my feet. We get to do a little footwork today. So press the palm actively into the wall, spread your fingers, especially press through the knuckle joints, but sort of suction cup the center of the palm off the wall. And then you're going to inhale and lift your heels up, reach the fingertips towards the crack between the wall and the ceiling. Keep reaching towards the crack between the wall and the ceiling, but exhale, drop your heels down. Inhale, reach up, and exhale. Drop heels, but keep reaching. So you're going to get a nice extension through that right side body. And you're just reaching up. Keep that arm active on the wall. Dropping down. Take the next one up. Keep reaching. Imagine lifting the fingertips towards that crack. And so it's not just my arm stretching. I want to feel it all the way through your side body muscles. And then see if you can keep that reach, but drop the heels down slowly. And now just take a few breaths. You can even let your head fall onto your arm. Breathe into that right side body, into your armpit, creating space. You can even direct your breath into your right lung. Feel the muscles moving between the ribs. 2 more rounds of breath. Feel the tissues, the skin stretching. And then when you're ready to come out of it, instead of taking the arm off the wall, walk your hips back away from the wall. And as you do that, the arm will slowly slide down for you. Grumpy arm coming down. Grumpy, grumpy, grumpy. Oh, okay. It's relaxed. So that's the first one we're going to do with the right arm. We're going to continue with the right arm. This next one is a fascial stretch, and then we'll learn to move the shoulder blades a little bit. So you're going to take your right hand to the wall, and this time I'm sorry, you get my business end. I'm turning towards the wall, hand to the wall, and my thumb is to the height of the shoulder, and I'm going to walk my body towards the wall as far as I can go comfortably. And once again, I'm active. I'm pressing my hand into the wall, and then I'm going to slowly roll my left hip towards the center of the room. So getting this big stretch, and I want to try to keep connected to the wall with my right side. So you might just be turning a little bit. You're going to feel it through the front of the chest and around the collarbones. So the other thing we can add to this, I'm going to drop out for a second because I'll be here for a moment, is any ball action. I'm going to take the pink one, but if you didn't find a ball, that's okay. But what we do is we put the ball right in here in this, so not, if you can feel where your collarbone is, just above the collarbone in this whole head of the arm bone area. We actually have a number of different I'm sorry, right below the, I said above the below the collarbone area. So I'm going to take the hand out again, take the ball right below the collarbone, press my hand into the wall, continue talking to you somehow. As I turn my left hip out, relaxing, and then just rolling really gently, rolling out that area, so you're going to get all the pectoral muscles right underneath the collarbone. If there's too much going on in the shoulder joint, drop your hand further down. The thumb does not have to be at the height of the shoulder. This is going to be more intense in that fascial stretch. So in yoga and Ayurveda, we have what's called marma points, and we have 3 major marma points right here in this area, just below the collarbone and around the head of the arm bone. Just rolling those out. Breathe in gently into the chest and lungs. And then you can take the ball out. Roll towards the wall again to come out, then drop the arm down, roll it around. We've got one more. So that was more of a fascial stretch. This one is going to make you work. So the idea of keeping the arm straight is really important. We're not bending the elbow. We're not going to move the arm from the arm. We're going to move the arm from the shoulder blade. So the ball is going to go into the hand. And this is a tennis ball, or this size ball works really well. You can use a bigger one though. Same position. We're going to take it here. And I'm going to press my hand into the wall. I'm really pushing into the ball, so my arm is active. And without bending the elbow, I'm going to try to make little circles with the ball. So if my elbow's bent, it's going to be like this, and it's just my arm moving, and it's really easy to do. But I want to move from the shoulder blade, and I can even rest my forehead on the wall, relaxing my neck. So I'm going to keep the arm straight. Think of moving the ball from your shoulder blade area, rolling it around. Reach out from the collarbone and the shoulder blade, and then pull it back in. And you can make circles in both directions, pressing the hand into the ball. I think I'm smushing my microphone on the wall. All right, do a couple more rolls, and then relax that down, just as a little counter pose for that. Take the back of the right hand to the wall, face your belly towards me, and then keep the right shoulder blade on the wall and begin to roll the hips towards the wall once again. And you can soften the top of the right shoulder and just stretch into the back of the shoulder blade. So we're going to open up the back of that right shoulder blade. We're going to roll it out in a second. It should feel really good. But first, open it up. See if you can locate that space of the inner edge of the right shoulder blade. And you can rest your head on the wall. If your shoulder's way up here, drop it down a little bit. Breathe into the arm. So fine, once you've located that space, I'm going to come off the wall slowly, right between the spine and the shoulder blade. That's where the ball's going to go. So to the inside of the right shoulder blade. Turn back to the wall, ball's there, and take your feet about 6 inches, heels about 6 inches or so from the wall. If you have anything going on in your knees, you can go a little further so your knees aren't going way in front of your toes, so you can take your feet further out. But you're going to put that ball there, and then bend. Bend in and out of the knees. Your legs get a little workout in this one after sitting too. And you're just rolling that ball up and down that inner line of the shoulder blades. And maybe sometimes, so there's, or the myofascial, we can move. We can feel things through movement. We can also feel just from the compression. So if you've got a really sensitive spot, just be still and let your head touch. It doesn't have to be so much sensation that it hurts. Just enough to bring your awareness into that area. Keep relaxing the weight of the right arm. I imagine that I'm like holding a can of soup in my right arm, so it's heavy and relaxed. Have you seen how people are like using cans of soup and stuff for weightlifting now? I think that's tremendously creative. And you can move the ball a little bit further up or down. So find those sensitive areas and send them some love. I just found mine. If the camera blacks out for a minute, you know why. My eyes roll up into my head. All right. Oh. Let that go. Let the head and neck relax. 2 marma points on the inner edge of the shoulder blade too that are representative of the back of your heart energy. So just rolling that out. And then we'll let the ball drop. You can roll your shoulders around. We won't need the ball for the first part, so you can set it down. Maybe take a moment, move your legs any way you need to. And once again, just feel yourself from the center of the sternum down through the fingers and the center of the spine through the shoulder blades and down through the fingers, head and neck. Just notice any difference between the right arm and the left arm. So now I kind of feel like I'm standing like this, but I'm not. All right, so we'll do the second side. It's going to be the left arm this time. I apologize, I will have my back side to you. Maybe it's a good view, but you're going to take your left hand to the wall, walk away from the wall, press the hand, spread the fingers. So you want to press your knuckles, your knuckle joints into the wall, and then make a little pocket out of the palm of the hand like a suction cup. And then we're pressing in and we're walking in. I want the arm straight to start, so then I walk in, no bend in the elbow. Keep walking your left side body and your hip in towards the wall as far as you can go. You might be a couple inches or so, maybe even further from the wall. You can go all the way where the hip is to the wall. Take your time going in first. And then once you're where you can hang out, just do that for a moment. Hang out, press the hand into the wall. Feel the arm lengthening, but also that left side body. And then feel yourself into your feet. Feet should be about as wide as the hips, so ankles underneath the knees. Knees underneath the hips. When you're ready on inhalation, come onto the balls of the feet. Reach up like you're trying to touch your fingers. You want to touch your ceiling, but keep your hand pressing into the wall. As you exhale, keep reaching towards the ceiling, but drop the heels down. Inhale, lift up. Relax the top of the left shoulder. Exhale, drop down. Inhaling and lifting. Get a nice little calf stretch with this one too. But focusing on that left side, we're trying to create space through the left side. Up and down. And then the last one, if you want, you can reach as far as you can. Like you're trying to reach your fingertips towards the wall. Take your armpit towards the wall. Keep reaching. Drop the heels down. And breathe into that space. Make any little finesse adjustments. Sometimes a little half an inch here or there will make it that much more comfortable, but you want to feel the whole line from the fingertips to the hip on that left side. Align your head and neck. Breathe into your left ribs. Feel the muscles between the ribs moving. Soften the shoulder blade down your back. Get ready to come out slowly. So in order to come out, you're going to walk your hips away from the wall, side walking. Take little side steps. Sliding the hand down, and then once you can bend your elbow, drop the left arm down. Roll it around a bit. So we're going to do the fascial stretch, and last time I showed it to you with the option of taking a ball into the head of the arm bone area just below the collarbone. So if you know you're going to do that, grab your ball, put it in your right hand. We'll take the left arm out, and we try to get the thumb to the height of the shoulder. If there's stuff going on in that shoulder, it needs to be down here, that's okay. That's better than having it up here with the elbow bent. So you want that straight line. I'm reaching through my fingers, but I'm plugging my upper arm bone into my shoulder blade. And I'm going to start with my toes, my big toe almost even touching the wall. Bring my chest into the wall. I'm trying to touch the front of the shoulder. It may not touch, but trying to touch the front of the left shoulder to the wall. Then slowly turning my right hip out towards you, so away from the wall, rotating. Make any adjustments. So sometimes I find my arms too low or too high. Press the hand into the wall. And first just breathe into that long line. Feel the stretch through the front of the chest. You might feel your breast tissue on that left side. All the way through the arm, inner edge of the arm. And if you want to add that massaging technique, take the ball and put it right underneath the left collarbone. And explore just little movements there. You can roll away and roll back. Or just compression. Let yourself fall into the ball. And this ball is quite soft, but you can reposition the ball in different places. You can let your right or left side of your head fall into the wall and relax. Soften the top of the shoulder. Feel that energy line all the way from the center of the heart and through the left palm. All right, and then turn the right hip back towards the wall. Drop your left hand down for a moment, take the ball out. You roll that left arm around because we're going to do another one into the extension. This is the one where it's a little more active, so easy to move the arm from the arm and bending the elbow, but we want to keep the arm straight, move the arm from the shoulder blade. So in order to do that, we take the ball into the hand, press the ball into the wall with the palm of the hand. So notice I'm not holding it with my fingers. I'm going to press the palm in so the arm is already active. I'm going to walk into the wall a little bit more. I can even rest my hips, but it might be your chest hits first, whatever it is. You can rest your forehead on the wall. And then keeping the arms straight. This one's being a little troubling for me. Make circles with the hand and arm, but not by bending the elbow. I know we can do this. I've seen this in class. Some of you know I've seen you do this, and I know you can do that. But take the arm, keep it straight, even if it doesn't feel like it's going as far. Think of moving the ball from your shoulder blade and your collarbone. That's the chassis for your arm, for your shoulders. Think of the shoulder girdle. And you can rest your head, rest your neck and shoulders. Move that left shoulder blade. You can switch the direction of the circles. So fatigue definitely kicks in for this one. And then drop that hand down, relax the shoulder. All right. And then we're going to go the opposite way. So you can turn, ta-da, I'm back. Turn your back side to the wall. Press the back of the left hand into the wall. And then you're going to slowly roll your hips, the front body, towards the wall. I have my thumb to the height of the shoulder, and still pressing, actively pressing. Draw the top of the left shoulder down a little bit. And then just resting into that arm. You can rest your forehead on the wall. My wall feels cold on my forehead. It feels kind of nice. But locate that space in the inner edge of the left shoulder blade. See if you can feel the space between the shoulder blade and the spine. Even feel the whole circumference of the shoulder blade, the top, the bottom. the outer edge. Feel the way the shoulder blade just sits on the ribs. And then slowly rolling your right hip towards the center of the room, coming out of it. Drop that arm down. So now we know where that left shoulder blade is, so we can take the ball in, and you're going to put the ball right in that inner left shoulder blade edge. Wherever you want to go, you can start at the bottom of the shoulder blade. You can start higher up. Keep your feet as wide as your hips so you get nice grounding for your feet. And walk your heels slightly away from the wall. It's like when we used to do these wall sits in basketball. I never liked those, but when you get to do it as a myofascial release for the shoulder blade, it's worth it. But you don't have to go that far into it, and you don't even have to move, right? Find that spot where the ball is just in that good area and just fall. Just fall, let the weight of your body fall into the wall, upper body, or you can go up and down that line. Think of just monkey arms, let your arms just completely relax. Rolling the inner edge of the shoulder blade. You might find a spot where you just want to be still. Let the base of the head relax on the wall. And then taking the ball out, drop her down. While we're standing, just take a moment, take your arms to your sides, and we're going to do my very favorite pose called Hug Asana. Take your arms out, make a big circle with your arms, and then reach around opposite fingers to shoulder blades and give yourself a big hug. Whoops, microphone. Give yourself a big hug. Notice which arm is on top. Squeeze in. And then open up again. Spread your arms. See how much space you can get from fingertip to fingertip. Open up through the chest. You can take your gaze up. And then just switch whatever arm was on top, but reach out first around, like you're going in for the big bear hug. Opposite arm on top. Reach around. We got to hug ourselves these days. Reach all the way around. Chin down. Breathe into the upper back, the space between your shoulder blades. You can rest your head on your arms. Feel your feet grounded and supporting you. And inhale, open up. One more time. Breathe in that space from the fingertips to the center of the heart, front and back. Exhale, let go. All right, we're going to come into relaxation. And I'm just going to encourage you to find your comfortable position, and we'll do just a heart-centered practice of being present in the heart. So wiggle your body, roll your shoulders around. And since we're working with the head, neck, and shoulders, specifically through all these lines of energy in the palms, you can see for yourself, if your arms are at your sides, does it feel better to have the palms up or down? Generally, we say the palms up is an act of receiving, down is more grounding. But see what's comfortable for your shoulders. You can place your hands on your body anywhere you'd like. Feel the base of the head, maybe it's supported by a pillow or the floor. Gently move your head from side to side, or even make little tiny circles with the head and neck. So any final little movements that help you to find your space of centeredness, relaxation. Breathing into your heart. You can think of your physical heart. Maybe even place your hands on your heart. Feel your heartbeat. You can think of your emotional heart. How are you feeling right now? Emotion might include some of the sensations that this practice brought up for you. What was it that you said to yourself when you felt sensation in your body? Some of them might have been positive sensations, some might have been surprising or even spaces of discomfort at times. What was our response to those? How did the heart respond? Can the heart always respond? It can always respond with unconditional love. And even coming into that layer of the spiritual heart. Seeing yourself as something more than just the body, our temple, our vessel, whatever you like to call your body. The space that carries us, that allows us to be spiritual beings in a human form. What does that feel like for you to be in that space of the heart? From this space of spiritual heart, there's no such thing as being alone. So if somebody comes to your mind, including yourself, offer kindness or unconditional love to that person or persons from your heart. Energetically reach out from your heart with your arms. See yourself giving that person a hug. You can make it so real that it even brings a smile to your face or a warm feeling in your heart. Being willing to be present in this space of the heart. Whatever it is that you might find in there. There's a saying that the mind will tell us what's possible, and the heart surpasses it. Feel the center of your heart. Breathe into the space of chest and lungs. Breathe into that space. As you breathe out, feel it going through your throat and into your shoulders and down your arms and into your hands, your fingers. Visualize the room around you and the floor underneath you. Where you are in your space, safe in your space. Remember that alone and lonely are two very different things. It's hard to be lonely in your heart. If you find you're lonely, take yourself out of your head and come into your heart. You can begin to wiggle your fingers, rotate your wrists, maybe bend your elbows, roll your shoulders around, invite some playful movement back into the space from your fingers to your shoulders. You can roll your head gently from side to side or massage the back of the neck. Open and close your jaws. Roll your eyes around underneath the eyelids. From this space, if you want to take a full body stretch, you can do that, or hug your knees in, rock yourself, roll to your side and pause in a fetal curl. Maybe choosing to stay here for a little while longer in your Shavasana, or you can come up into a seated meditation, or joining me in a seated posture as we close out our practice together. I only wish my microphone was about 20 feet the other way, because you'd be able to hear Bodhi snoring. The normal part of our Tuesday morning practices, dog snoring. Please feel free to take your hands to your heart. Think about love and who supports you and who holds you in your highest vibration. Who comes to mind? And send them your gratitude. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all be blessed with peace and joy and love and light. Namaste.